Alright, Lions, so this morning, alongside the fact that we did, of course, get our new Christmas banner with Retsu, Nemu, and also Isane, we also now have access to the Awakened BAMBIETTA epic raid, and this epic raid in particular is working a tad bit different to what we have been getting for usual epic raids, because in this case, there are two difficulties that you can do. You can do the normal Awakened difficulty, which of course is going to be harder than what we had last month, but even then, we also have a even harder Awakened epic raid, in this case, outlined by the yellow border, and this is the Ultra Epic Raid. Ideally, when you are farming this, you want to do the Ultra Ultimate difficulty, because this in general gives you more rewards, especially more medals, which keep in mind, because we have access to the Epic Raid Challenge campaign, we're getting twice as many Epic Raid medals. So if you are able to get a full bonus, which is best easily done on Power Only Day, Mind Only Day, and Speed Only Day, because that is the 3 new characters that do offer 100% additional medals. If you have Max Bonus, which is basically easy achievable, a lot of people have the new characters. If you open your lobby, likely you are going to get them to join you. You can get like a 1,750 medals per soul ticket on the Ultra difficulty. And what that does mean is that you can stack up on a lot of medals. As you can see for me, we didn't even do that much farming earlier today during our live stream, and I've already spent a lot of medals, but I already have 200,000 medals that I can use to basically buy all the pets again, right? This was available last month. I always recommend picking up Kenpachi and also Toshira, as they do offer 20% strong attack damage. And if you bought them last month, well, maybe you can get them again now, or maybe again you can use the spirits to re-roll their second slot. I think some further standout familiars, at least for this month during the Awakened Epic Raid, is any familiar that does have knockback resistance, because that is very, very clutch for actually having an easy time in the Awakened difficulty. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you scroll down, you can buy some Super Link Shop potions. In the Awakened BAMBIETTA Epic Raid, you can buy the items to awaken the BAMBIETTA familiar. You can get a bunch of Transcendence items. Large scrolls specifically is what I needed personally. Even the silver scrolls for Soripers I definitely picked up. You can get some summon tickets. You can get some hammers. 5-star summon tickets. Keep in mind the 5-star accessory ticket isn't actually a guaranteed 5-star, but you can pick up essence scrolls too, and of course hammers with 200 spirits off. So make sure you go ahead and pick that up. You can easily finish out the entire shop in like under an hour. For those wondering though how to get all the BAMBIETTA awakening spirits, because you can only buy 5 right now, if you go to your event orders, you can see all you have to do is beat the very hard difficulty, and that is how you're going to get the other 5 awakened spirits. That way you can awaken your BAMBIETTA. With that said though, let's do an example run and jump into the quest and see how the pattern of the boss is. Like I said, your cheat code to beat in this particular epic raid and have a very easy time with it is by using familiars. BAMBIETTA does count, but I already have Noritura worked on. I do need to upgrade the secondary traits. I've never actually worked on knockback resistance pets, but I might do it for this month. Then again, I don't even need to do it, to be fair. But what you need to do to have an easy time with this epic raid, you are going to want to use knockback resistance familiars, because in the epic raid, BAMBIETTA is always pushing back, and it just makes it more awkward if you don't have that resistance. With these 3 familiars getting that 75% knockback resistance, I'm basically never being pushed back, and it makes it so much easier. It really, really does. If you can make it with full stamina, berserker, or bruiser, depending on the character you are using, even better. Again, my secondary traits on these familiars aren't the greatest. I'm definitely going to be working on that this month though. And I guess with that, we can also use this as an example of using Nemu in epic raids, which we are going to showcase in the coming days. And Nemu right now is going to make for a perfect testing unit to go against this epic raid to try and learn the pattern, because we can actually give ourselves barriers. So you'll see here, right? She does a bunch of pushback attacks with also red attacks that target players individually. And you want to make sure you have that knockback resistance. That way you don't get pushed into the corners of the map. Once you do, you will be taking damage, right? Other than that, it's fairly simple to dodge these attacks. Do try and stay near the middle, because there will be a bunch of vortexes around you. Let's just easily do that. There we go. And I believe that's the first phase. It's fairly straightforward. We'll do another test run. Again, if we didn't have that knockback resistance, depending on where we were located, we could potentially take damage, and we don't really want to. Let's just use the SA2 anyway. Again, just stay close. That's all you really need to do. Make sure you back up, though, whenever they do the Aura Blast, because that will be one-shotting you. So again, we'll just stay in the middle. That way we can avoid the vortexes that she does plant down. I think in the Ultra difficulty, they will eventually start moving around, but right now they seem just be standing in place. That's the very first phase. Let's go into the next one. With a Nat character like Nemu, we can basically just sit from afar. To be fair, though, I think we are going to run out of time, so we might have to do another example. But let's see what phase 2 actually has to offer. They're doing some instant kill attacks, so I like to stay down in the middle right here, just move left and right when I need to. That's going to be a Vortex, and she's also going to plant a Vortex on one player. So that might be a bit awkward depending on who actually gets targeted. If you do get targeted, I would say try and stay on the outside of the map. And I believe that is the second phase. Oh, this continues on. So yeah, another pushback attack that can push you into the outer side, which does then have insta-kill moves. So more reasons just to have that knockback resistance. And that way you can actually get by relatively easy. So let's continue to do some normal attack damage. This seems to be a circular AoE. Just walk around her. Again, try to avoid that trap on the floor. Thus far, that's good, right? And again, this is only Awakened difficulty. We've yet to try out the Ultra one. So phase 3, gonna push back. Depending on where you are standing, she might push you back into an area that can actually deal damage to you. It's very simple. It's gonna be a lot hectic. That's why I always recommend doing some single player runs, because it definitely does get a lot hectic when there are a lot of players. So let's make sure we send that trap into the bottom right. And then we have to run all the way to the corner to avoid that attack. And I believe that's phase 3. Does seem like it. So phase 3 seems fairly simple, to be fair. Let's do some damage. We aren't going to beat it, but we'll come back and see what the final phase has to offer on the Awakened difficulty. Alright then, so going into the final phase, phase number 4, let's see what BAMBIETTA has to offer in this case. So, she's going to push back. Again, target players individually. Push back again. Keep targeting. Look how many pushbacks there are. So this is why you want to have that knockback resistance, because you're going to get put into a very bad position where, especially if you don't have long stride, it's going to be very tough to try and dodge all these attacks that come at you very fast. These attacks seem fairly simple. Just dodge left and right. Make sure you aren't too close though, because she will then do an aura blast. So she'll target a player once more. Looks like she's doing an AoE attack. Another target. Unfortunately, I did almost take a hit there, but this is why we have the barriers. And I believe that's the final phase. So, no, there's another attack here. AoE. Another AoE. More pushback, right? This is what I mean. To be fair, we almost took damage there. We did actually. So, this is why you just need... That's just the cheat code, right? You want to learn how to best play this epic raid? Knockback resistance. She pushes back way too many times. If I didn't have this resistance, it'd be so much harder. So much harder. You'd be constantly getting pushed back into the corner. So that's the Awakened difficulty. The attacks themselves do come out relatively fast, but they are very easily dodgeable. It might be a bit awkward when there's a lot of players, you know, maybe blocking the view. But when you have knockback resistance at least 75%, it does become super trivial. And if you have long shot on your character, you're very easily going to be able to get in and out of any potential attack that might be coming your way. Next up, though, let's do the Ultra BAMBIETTA epic raid and see how it does go. So what you're going to see here is, again, just pushback after pushback, which is why you need that knockback resistance. Because otherwise, you're getting sent all around the place. You can get hit on the edge, and that could actually make, you know, deal damage to you. Ideally, the character you are using, you likely want to stay at full stamina. There's also going to be a vortex flying around the map too, so if you get pushed into that, you're taking damage. There'll also be instant kill attacks in the corners. In this case, we can just stay in the middle. Get pushed back again. If I didn't have that knockback resistance, I would have probably got pushed back into the instant kill attack. And it seems like she's just going to repeat that. So phase 1 is all about knockback attacks with the occasional AoEs that can kill you. So now let's do some damage, get into the second phase. You don't have a lot of time to go through this, so I might need to deal constant damage to get into these next couple of phases. Here we go into our next phase, phase number 2. More pushback. There's also slow traps walking around. You don't want to be in the corners. Then you don't want to be too close. You want to back up. A lot of traps here. These seem easily dodgeable, although depending on your team, when there's a bunch of players, you could get caught into a bad position, but doesn't seem too bad. And is that the second phase? Not as a pushback with an AoE on one side. Just a lot of AoE attacks, and in this case, you need to make sure you get into the corner, but don't overextend and take damage. And that's basically phase 2 in a nutshell. Seems fairly simple enough, right? Once you have that knockback resistance. Alright then, so going into phase number 3, the final phase. Gonna be another pushback attack. Well, multiple pushbacks here. 3 in this case, while targeting the players and certain areas of the field. So nothing that we've never seen before. There'll be an AoE in the middle, so you want to back up, then instantly back into the middle. But don't stay there for too long, because an aura blast will happen. Let's continue doing damage. She'll target one section of the player base, or the corners. Then there'll be a vortex in the middle, so you want to go on the outer side. And then there's going to be an AoE. Again, a lot of pushback here. Let's dodge that. Doesn't seem too bad, to be fair. We actually managed to do that without getting hit, but I can only imagine how hard this will be without any knockback resistances. Now let's continue to do our damage. Can we even beat this epic grade by ourselves in under a minute? I don't think so. There we go. So yeah, that definitely could be a problem if you don't have any knockback resistances, because they put you at a point where once you get pushed back, you're likely going to get pushed into the corner. So we're going to try and dodge that. Unfortunately, I ended up getting a hit there, so probably don't want to go where the route I went. Don't get too close, because again, there's instant kill attacks. There we go. Decent damage. We almost beat it by ourselves, to be fair. So shout out to Nemu, but not really here to try and beat it. Mostly just demonstrate the attack patterns. Doesn't seem too bad. What I want to do, though, for our next run is to do just a quick public lobby and see what it looks like, how hectic it might be when we have a bunch of other players with us. Because the attacks that she targets you, right now it's simple for me to dodge because it's only attacking me. But when there's multiple players flash stepping around, it can become maybe a tad bit hectic. Alright then, so let's see how this does go. So I'm the only Nemu in this lobby, right? So I'm going to have to do some carrying, but Nemu's going to be great here because, again, she can deal constant damage, and she's also able to protect the team with the barriers. But I'm just going to sit back here. There we go. Now we do our damage. Gauge is active. I'm able to do most of the damage, to be fair, as long as my teammate can come through too. But you're going to probably see a lot of them end up dying because they're probably getting pushed back too much. Having a healer in your lobby wouldn't be a bad thing. Likewise, you know, you don't have to bring full bonuses. You can always just bring your best power unit to just try and brute force your way through it too. But actually, no one's learned the pattern right now. Or most of I'm going to assume mostly everyone in this lobby doesn't have any pushback familiars. And they're just getting pushed all around, making it more difficult than it should be. If you want to speed it up, as always, I recommend having weakened defense on your characters. Likely, your setting's already on. But you would likely want to turn off the allies' animations. Mine's still turned on, and that makes it a tad bit harder for me because all the animations are being played. But if you want to have an easier time on visibility, probably turn it off. Probably turn it off. But thus far, that's good. Haven't really taken a hit. Almost got hit there. But luckily, I have the barriers for myself, right? And again, weakened defense is going to be really good here just to ensure that everyone does 30% more damage. So you'll see there, the attacks that she does do a target toward players, so every time it's going to be different. Let's go here, go forwards. Back up. We don't want to be caught in the AoE attack. Going to use my SA2 now. That'll give us the barriers. I guess you can stay close to the middle to dodge those vortexes that come at your way. Let's stand here. This seems to be the safe zone. Don't get too close, though, because she'll instant kill. There we go. And now we just deal our damage. The gauge is active. There we go. Love to see it. Pushback is doing nothing to me, but let's quickly try and... Unfortunately, there I took a hit, but it's right near the end. It's fine, to be fair. And there we go. We're clear with 1 minute to spare. And that was an open lobby. I believe we only had like 2 bonuses. More Nemus, the easier it is, the more damage you do. But over time, we have an entire month to do this, right? People will start to learn the pattern. And hopefully after this video, more people are aware just to use knockback resistance pets. And with that, you will be able to clear fast. Even then, even in maybe a lobby like this, for example, where you clear in just 2 minutes time. I mean, look at the rewards you're getting. You're mostly going to be doing this for the medals. If you want links or potions, go to links or trials, or just do the awakened difficulty. The ultra one is more so for the medals. And you'll see in a ticket, we're getting 1,300. You can do 5 times soul tickets at a time. And over time, even if you just play 20 soul tickets a day, 10 soul tickets a day, you know, you have an entire month. Likely you are going to stack up on a lot of medals where there you can just finish out the entire shop. Lucky for us, though, considering how needed I would say these knockback pets are, very important to have. Lucky for us, you actually can pick them up. Again, there's a lot of familiars available right now in this special exchange, which you can buy. Fishbone is one of them. He does offer knockback resistance. Ion is another one, also offering knockback resistance. Norichira is another example, knockback resistance, and I believe you can also use Bambietta. I'm not sure if there's any other pets that have knockback resistance, but you can always just tap on them to see what they do offer. So there you go. That's how the best tackle Bambietta epic raid. If you want to learn the pattern yourself, just attempt the epic raid by yourself with your best character and just see how the patterns do go. Once you do have 75% knockback resistance, if you have 3 familiars like this, it becomes super trivial. It really does. It's only hard right now because you are getting pushed around the entire map, but once you use 3 familiars, that's going to be a cheat code to beating both the Ultra and normal Awakened Bambietta epic raids. It's a great time to play epic raids right now. You can get a lot of medals, pick up Ultra familiars, and there's some really good items to be we have in both exchange shops too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.